Hi, friends. Welcome to Mariposa Homeschool. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Jatara, and on my channel, I like to show homeschooling parents or parents who are interested in homeschool how you can homeschool your children, even if you are working full time. So, I'm excited about today's video because we're going to go through a real schedule, my daily schedule, a quarterly schedule, how I schedule things quarterly, and what I do for a yearly schedule. So, in just a moment, I'm going to flip the camera around and show you my planner, what planner I actually use for homeschooling, and we're going to get right into it. Okay, so this is my planner that I currently use for everything. Everything that has to do with scheduling, or if we have to be somewhere, then it goes in this parent planner. I have used planners from In Advance Paper Co. And that was an absolutely beautiful planner. Um, I did like the planner. It was just so overwhelming, way too many pages for our family since we don't schedule things. Like I don't do lesson plans. So it was too much for us, but I was really sad. I really wanted to love it, and it was such a beautiful planner. We also have used Happy Planner, and I did enjoy that one as well. I liked all the extra little pieces and parts that you could get for it. But I was so surprised when I picked this up at Aldi's, and I actually really love it. It's very simple. All of it is customizable. Oh, sorry if you can hear my dogs in the background. And it's pretty simple and it works perfectly for us. The only thing is I'm afraid now that we're not going to be able to find another one like this. So hopefully they bring it back again because I truly love this planner. Another thing I wanted to mention too was the planner does come with a lot of these fun stickers for vacation, half days, travel, date night. And then there were stickers in this section here that had the months on them. So the tabs are empty. These are stickers. And a little certain someone took my stickers and stuck them all over the wall. So that's okay. I just used a marker and it's rubbing off a little bit, but it's okay. I know my months of the year, so I know where I'm supposed to be. And it comes with a monthly budget sheet that I do not utilize. I don't do my bills this way. I have a completely different system. And for a small amount of time, I was writing it in here, but I just wasn't using it, so I don't use that. And then there is a cute little chore chart here. We do not use this either, but I think it's super cute and could be definitely useful. So this is where I'm at. We're in September. You have to write your month and all the days in here, as well as fill out your daily sheet. So you're going to put your dates up here. Now let's see. I have a few things already scheduled on the calendar for September, and one of those being our co-op days. We have co-op twice a month, and it's the first 2 Fridays of the month, so we've got our co-op in there. And then we also know our first day of school. So our first day of school will be on November 4th. I think that's a holiday. Yeah, that's a holiday, and that typically happens for us. I typically will do school on holidays because I am off on most bank holidays, and it's easier for me scheduling wise to do school on those days because I don't have to worry about my work schedule. So I will be off that day, but we will not be off from school. That'll be our first day of school. Okay, so I have the dates filled out already. I always use a erasable pen. My favorite is the Friction because things change very often and it's easy for me to just erase. I don't use this section here where it says name, but I do utilize this section here pretty often. Anything I have to get done that's not a typical task, or like if there's a deadline for something I have to get in, then I will typically write it here. And then I do have a menu sheet on my refrigerator, but I like to write it in here as well just to remind myself. It's not like a super hard, strict menu. I just schedule a menu for the week and I make whatever I feel like that day. So typically for me, what I would do is my husband and I just recently got memberships to the YMCA for our family. We've been absolutely loving it. And I've gotten into a routine of getting up early and working out. If I try to do it in the morning, it's just absolutely not going to happen. I'm a morning person, so I'm going to get up in the morning maybe 3 or 4 times a week and go to the YMCA. Our local YMCA opens at 5:30, and so I probably would be there by 6 a.m. Get my workout in, come home, and I do work from home, I will say that. And I would be starting my work schedule at 7 a.m. So I would write in here, work 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. I do have a very flexible schedule. I am required to work 40 hours a week, but I'm allowed to work anywhere between 7 a.m. and 11 p.m. So that's why I like to do my schedule this way. Our first year of homeschool, we had a starting time of about 8 or 9 a.m. and it was just too chaotic and hectic getting everybody up in the morning, trying to get everybody breakfast and ready to go for our start time. Nobody was happy with me since my family is not morning people, just me. So they were not happy with me. And the second year that we did homeschooling, I figured out that it was so much easier to let the kids naturally wake up, get them their breakfast, and everything was done and there was no rushing. So what we do is we start school at 11 a.m. And I would just write school 11 a.m. My son is going to be in 5th grade this year, and he's got a little bit of a heavier workload since he's in the upper elementary now. We're going to try to get him ready for middle school, and so I'm not too sure what time we will end school this year. But I wanted to remind everyone, especially new homeschoolers, that you don't have to schedule your homeschool hours like public school hours. You can homeschool your children in the morning, in the evening, on the weekends. You have that freedom to schedule that time whenever you want. So it's what works best for your family. So I'm gonna just put a little arrow down here. I don't schedule anything in between our school hours if I can help it. If I have to do a doctor's appointment or something like that, and we just can't get around it, then I will move some things around, but I don't like to schedule anything in between our school hours. I know that when I work 7 to 11, I like to go back to work at 4. So I will write work 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. And the reason for that is when my husband works a morning shift, then he will be able to come home, and I typically start dinner somewhere before I have to get back to work. Either he can take the dinner out or dinner's already ready. He can have his dinner and then take the kids for me. And mostly it's just my 4-year-old that will need attention at that point. But we always like to schedule, when it's nice weather, we schedule outside time. So I will say outside, and I'm just going to take a guess and say around 2 p.m. And that's pretty much what my day will look like. If there are extracurriculars or anything like that that I need to schedule, it would probably go in this evening time here, because it's easier for us to get our kids back and forth when there's 2 parents home. And I will say I work from home. I have a very flexible schedule. Thankfully, I'm super, super blessed in that area. I definitely would not, it wouldn't be as easy for me to be able to homeschool my children if I didn't have a more open schedule. But I will say that it can be done. And I will talk about that in another video a little bit more in depth. Okay, so that is what our day would typically look like throughout the school year. So I'm going to jump back to our month at a glance here. Okay, so this is our month at a glance. And I've already got some things scheduled in here. Typically what I would do is towards the end of summer, like I've already done, I scheduled our start date. When we do school, I will write school on this day and then check it or highlight it so that I know that we did school that day. That's basically the only way that I keep attendance. When we start the school year, I will sit down, and for the next 3 months, I will go through and add any holidays. We start in September, so that means, I'm probably going to be scheduling for Thanksgiving in here, decide if I want to take any time off around those holidays, and if I do, I will schedule it then. If I don't, and let's say for October, for example, I don't believe there's any reason we would be taking it. Would just print out a calendar and write that how many weeks of school we should be at that time. So this is week 1, 2, 3, 4. This is week 4, and then and so on throughout the months. I do like to take a nice break during the holidays, like a longer break during the holidays. So I try not to take too much time out at the beginning of our school year, or in October, since we like to take a longer break in December. So I keep those kind of things in mind. And knowing that is just from, this is going to be our 3rd year of homeschooling. The year before, we did K-12, which is a virtual online school. And it is very different than homeschooling, but we will get into that in another video. And basically, that's all I would do for scheduling for the first quarter. And then finally is what I do yearly. So really, I don't do too much yearly. What I like to do is I will get a piece of paper and I will write goals for my children on the paper. They will go either back here. There's a pocket back here in my planner. And I will put my goal sheet here. And basically what I'm going to write on my goal sheet is goals for each one of my children individually. So goals for my preschooler, goals for my 5th grader, and then goals for our homeschool, or me as their homeschooling parent, or goals for our homeschool altogether. And that's what my focus will be throughout the school year. I'll just pull it out when I need a reminder. And, if I feel like we're getting off topic or we are going in a different direction than I feel like we should be throughout the year, I'll pull those goals out and we'll refocus. So I don't lesson plan. We typically use curriculum that is open and go. So there's no need for me to write a number page of English and a number page of math and a number page of handwriting in our planner. There's just no need for it. We keep a portfolio. If you saw my last video, you saw that I referenced a portfolio that I keep for each one of my children each year. And that's the work that we keep, and that should show my children's progress. So there is no need for me to do yearly lesson plans or to do much on a year schedule. Okay, so that's it. You saw how we like to schedule our days and our quarters and what I do for a yearly kind of keeping track. It doesn't have to be a difficult and very detailed schedule unless that's something that works for you. I don't like to put times on um, my schedule for our homeschool. I like to have a flow, and I'll have a separate video on how we do a flow during our school day. But it's very easy in the beginning to get caught up in the little things and not look at the big picture. You have so much flexibility as a homeschooling parent, so take advantage of that. Schedule breaks when you want to, and you don't have to go by um, the public school calendar. Take those breaks when you feel like you and your children are ready or you're just kind of burned out. Um, so I hope this video was helpful to you. Any suggestions that you have, feel free to leave them down in the comments below, and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you are enjoying this content. Bye.